I was on the bus because I went to Six Flags with my dorm, and so the bus driver was playing it over the radio, and we were going into overtime, and I kind of thought to myself how cool it would be if the whole bus sang Varsity on the way home if we won. So I got really, really upset, and I started like hitting the chair and screaming because I feel it was just a bad call, and especially because people saw it and said that he didn't even cross the goal line. So I'm mad I didn't get to see it so I can know for myself, but I feel like it's just bull. That everybody just went to sleep afterwards because it's been a long day, and I feel like had we won, people would have been a lot more energetic.
Hey there everyone, my name's Ryan Rainey. Today I'm joined by Elliot Hughes, the Badger Herald sports content editor. Elliot was inside of Spartans Stadium when the infamous final play of the Wisconsin-Michigan State game happened. Elliot, it was painful for me to watch from here in my apartment in Madison. What was the atmosphere like in Spartans Stadium before and after the official review?
Pretty much as you would imagine. Before the referee came out, everyone was on the edge of their seats. I already knew what the call was going to be. I saw a replay of it in the booth, so I was just waiting for the call. And when it came, the stadium just exploded. It actually kind of gave me a bit of the goosebumps actually, seeing that happen. But it was just an incredible sight. The stadium, no one was standing still.
So I can remember walking into the Ohio State game, walking into the Nebraska game at Camp Randall. In both of those situations, there was kind of this atmosphere at Camp Randall that I hadn't really felt before. It was definitely electric. Mm-hmm. Did you get that same feeling before the game at Spartan Stadium?
Absolutely. Before the game, the Michigan State players would constantly walk over to the student section and kind of rouse up cheers and things like that. The players and the student section especially, they wanted the rest of the stadium to be in the game the entire night, and at times they did quiet down between the momentum shifts, but when they came back, they were as loud as anything I've ever heard.
Okay, so just one last question for you. I know that obviously morale in Madison was low after the game. What was the morale like among either Badger fans or Badger players themselves after the game was over, after everything was all said and done?
It was pretty quiet. In the post-game interviews after the game, players were pretty quiet, not too talkative as they normally are, and you could tell that there were some tough moments in the locker room after the game. You could tell it was hard for them to pick their heads back up, but they will. They spoke about that often in the interviews about overcoming the game, but they acknowledged that it would take a while, longer than usual.
I guess just as a follow-up to that, last year's Michigan State game was kind of seen as a turning point in the season because it motivated the team more to make it to the Rose Bowl. Do you think that same dynamic is going to play in after this game, or do you think that this was more of a morale killer considering all the expectations going into the season?
It was unanimous in the interviews that it'll be the same thing as it was last year, to be a motivating factor through the rest of the season. I heard at least 5 players say that in the hours after the game.
Okay, that's Elliot Hughes, the Badger Herald sports content editor. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter or check our website, badgerherald.com, for further coverage of the Badgers' defeat at Michigan State just this past weekend.